What can we say? What is your take, your reaction, your position on the preemptive strike? More than anything else, rather than me going through my pontificating, this is one of those events where I am more fascinated by your take than anything I can lend myself to. MRO Levon says, the adversary and enemy is the wicked man. I thank you for that. I don't want to say flabbergasted. That sounds almost, it sounds almost like I'm overdoing it. My question is, what does President Trump know? What did he know? Are we involved? Is the CIA involved? And when everybody told us specifically that they had nothing to do with this, when everybody said that this was not anything that our intel was involved in, that whatever they do, they're on their own, which nobody not believes, but can believe. Nobody can believe this. Who in their right mind would ever want to even remotely deal with us ever again? I know that may not be a big deal to some, but who in their right mind would ever believe us if we said anything about this? Do you know what's going to happen right now? What's going to happen from the rest of the world? I don't. I can't say. I wish I knew. I mean, I wish I could say that, well, logic would dictate. And by the way, I don't want there to be what I think is going to happen. Sometimes people are so angry, they're actually hoping that there's some form of I don't know what the word is, some form of terrible conflagration. I don't want that. But I'm shocked. I was watching a very good man, Jeffrey Sachs, along with Judge Napolitano. And Jeffrey Sachs, Professor Sachs, could not speak. He could not speak. He was without the ability to, let me put myself there. He was without the ability to even come forward. Let me get unfreeze myself here, I believe. Let me see if I can do this. Is this possible? Is this possible for me to unfreeze this? Ladies and germs, I know I'm frozen. Hang on a second. Just a second. Just a minute. I'm going to do my best to become unfrozen, dear friends. Stand by. There we go. My apologies for that frozen rictus. What saith you, your thoughts? I am, and I don't want to again pretend like a lot of people, I am shocked, because my question now is, who in their right mind is going to believe anything that we say? Do you think Putin's going to believe? What's Putin going to do? I'm frozen again, dear friends. Hang on. I'm going to get to the bottom of this. Hang on. I'm going to get to the bottom of this. Who in their right mind would believe anything that we say? Just a minute. Pardon my French. There we go. I'm so sorry. My apologies, please. Your thoughts and comments. Snarf. Christine says at 62, it is my experience that we, the people, know very little. However, we are sickened by all of this. Is anybody here happy? Does anybody here welcome this? Are we perhaps missing the point, ladies and gentlemen? Is there something about this that you think might be, well, do you think there's something here that we might be missing? Do you think that maybe maybe this is in some respects a good thing, that somehow the world is better, that somehow the world is better off, that somehow society is better. Do you think that's possible? Am I missing the point here? I'm looking at this from the most, I hope, the most realistic point of view. I would imagine. I hope I am. I hope that I'm speaking of this in the most specific, the most lucid, the most pragmatic. I hope that I'm capable of doing this. I don't come after this against anybody. I am not, when it comes to this, a Zionist or anti-Zionist. I'm an American citizen. I believe that Israel, like any other country or state, has a right, of course, to defend themselves, but I think that's become part and parcel. This was in the offing. The thing that I find the most disconcerting is only this. When President Trump said to us repeatedly, I am against this war, I am not for this, we're negotiating, do you think he meant it? Do you think that maybe perhaps, what is it? Would it be the, what would you call it? The Jared Kushner control? I don't know. Is it AIPAC? Is it the, do you think there will be any response from this? Do you think there will be? Do you think there will be, because of this, I don't know what the word is. Do you think there will be some form of worldwide or nationwide retaliation? Because this is what I'm trying to say. What I fear happening may sound like I'm saying too much of this in terms of me wanting this to be true. Does that make any sense? It sounds like I'm wanting this to be true, that I'm hoping it's true, because I am not. In no wise am I wanting any of this to be true. And I know there are people who have such absolute, incredible anger towards Israel. Pilgrim says, keep your powder dry, dear friends, just saying. What is the effect of us here? What do you think we're going to see? Do you think it makes sense? Do you think it makes sense that there's going to be more problems? Pilgrim also leaves us with, let it all be done, though the heavens may fall. Yes. And unleash the hounds of war, or the, do you think that the rest of the country, the rest of the world is going to hold us accountable? Do you think the rest of the world, in this case, will hold us accountable? And do you think the rest of the world would say, you knew what was going on? You knew precisely what was going on. And yet you told us to trust you. You told us to trust you. You told us to trust you. Is anybody going to be, does our word mean anything? What happens now with Ukraine? What do you think Putin is saying? Do you think Putin knows this? Or do you think deep down inside, most people say, we don't care one way or the other about this? We really don't care about this. It doesn't mean anything to us. It doesn't mean anything to us. During the various Gulf War iterations, the world sort of kind of looked the other way and said, all right. They sort of said, which is important, the world sort of said, look, this is the way it goes. We really don't care anything about Gulf War I, Gulf War II. It doesn't matter. Nobody came after us. Nobody came after us. Nobody. Do you think so? Do you think nobody? Did anybody? I'm not trying to sound as though I am deliberately befuddled, but I cannot believe. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying, how do I say this? I'm not in any way suggesting that Israel surprises me, but I just thought the president, what bothers me a lot is that I'm afraid that our own president may not know what's going on. Now, I know many of us love the fact that he's the president and he's great and he is wonderful and he is our pal and we love him. But I'm really wondering, and I have wondered for a long time, I honest to God wonder more than anything else whether any of this makes sense. Is anybody going to believe anything that we say? And right now, President is saying this is wonderful. And Fox News, the usual subjects and the usual suspects are just lauding this. They think it is fantastic news. They are in love with this. They think this is the greatest thing ever. Again, we love the precision. We love the military precision. We love either Mossad or whatever. We love the fact, just like people love the fact during those pagers that went off. We loved that. It was so cool, so high tech. Am I just from the wrong world? Do you think maybe I'm just from the wrong, how do I say this? I'm just from the wrong time. Maybe I'm just not cut out for this. Maybe, and I say this, maybe I think that I'm just sort of in a world that just kind of doesn't get it. I don't know. I will tell you, though, that nothing that I'm seeing makes any sense to me. Nothing is in any way good. Nothing at all makes me not worry. And if the rest of the world decides to come after us, if the rest of the world decides that they're going to do something about this, I don't know. Who believes the President of the United States is doing a good job at this time? Who believes? Who? Which of you? Who's thinking the President's doing a fantastic time? Tell me. Somebody must somewhere say, this is terrific. This will ultimately inure to our benefit. This will benefit us tremendously. This is what we want. This is a tough world, and we've got to show these people. We have to show these people that we mean business, right? Isn't that it? Is there anybody who believes that these people, these folks, I don't know what you want to call them, these Iranians, that there's something, that they're evil? Anybody believe they're evil? Come on. You know the way they've always been portrayed. You understand this, right? You've understood this. You've always, they're evil. They're crazy. They spread and foment terror. They wear funny clothes. They got funny hats. They're all hell bent on this. They're not a member of the good. They're not a member of the good Muslims. They're no good. And Israel has said since day one, this is their bottom line. They've said. Israel has said from day one, this is their red line. I'm looking this. Bring our troops home. I'm reading this. I'm looking. Let me see this. I'm sick of any wars. I think Carolyn Guy says it best. Carolyn, I'm with you 100% on that. Better than Biden. Psycho said, I guess I just wasn't made for these times. The beachiest of boys. Bibi's war is not our war. President doing okay, but bring our troops home. How is it, my friends, that any of this thing can be met with anything other than disgust? Hopefully the Trump administration will recover from the current disarray. AIPAC Congress critters complicit in genocide shilling got their next kickback check. Do you think Beijing is that simple? Are you perhaps being cynical? Isn't there anything that makes sense about targeting Iran? Isn't there anything? Doesn't any of it make any sense to you? Are they not the evil? Iran is last on the PNAC neocon 7 country list. I wonder if Iran, I don't know. It could very well be. What is the rest of the world going to do? This is critical, because let me tell you something. If nothing happens, if the world says, oh well, we have too many business deals, we have too many things going on, we really don't care about this. How do we say this? If nothing happens, what will that tell you? Buy toilet paper. It's funny you say that. There have been all over. The other day I mentioned a couple of things. I mentioned one thing which was very interesting. There was an article that I read to you about folks who were suggesting, very tragically, that there are worries, very, very serious concerns around the rest of the world involving shortages. There was this big data breach involving the country that actually supplies Whole Foods. And it was like nothing else. Nobody could believe what we were saying, or seeing for that matter. It was incredible. You say about food, this could be nothing. If it's nothing, think about every single thing that Israel has done in the name of self-defense or whatever, which was clearly a line in the sand. If nothing happens, maybe it's a new world where Israel does not matter. Or maybe this is building up, and one day there will be a retaliation, the likes of which no one can imagine. I hope that's not true. But as far as food goes and keeping your powder dry, listen very carefully to this. This may make more sense now than it ever has. Let me ask you a question. What happens when the trucks stop? Think about this. Trucks, the trucks that bring your food, and then when one store closes because of a riot or ransomware hit or a hurricane or even manufactured weather. Oh yeah, we've talked about that. What happens when all of a suddenly the entire supply chain collapses like dominoes? What happens then? We've seen it happen, and it doesn't take much. And that's the thing you've got to think about. A trucker strike, a cyber attack, some EMP, some Carrington-class disaster, a city shut down by violence. It only takes one spark for shelves to go empty fast. And when that happens, and when that moment hits, you either have what you need or you don't. And that's why I am telling you, I want you to go to preparewithlionel.com. Our trusted friends at My Patriot Supply, they're offering unbelievable deals right now. You've got to see deals on emergency food kits that could save your life and your sanity. Over 2,000 calories per day. For 3 months of food per person, shelf stable for 25 years, in any kind of combinations you want, and made to taste like actual meals, not cardboard, not some military MRE. These kits aren't just insurance, they're peace of mind. So go to preparewithlionel.com, secure your kit, secure your future. Preparewithlionel.com, preparewithlionel.com, because when the world breaks down, the prepared don't panic. Do you think, my friends, and these are the questions that I have, and I want you to answer them, not, well, if you don't have to, but not as a Trump acolyte, not as somebody who just loves the president, but ask yourself this question. Do you think the country cares? Not whether you care, not whether large factions, but I mean, do you think the country cares about this? Do you think this is going to be a big deal? Will this change elections? Do you think the country cares in the least? Or do people say, look, there's been problems with Iran since day one. All my life there's been a problem. There has been a problem with these folks. It's always going to be a problem. There's no way around it. It's the nature of the beast. It's who these people are. You don't just, you got to understand how this thing works. It's not for me to sit there and get worried. So far, they've done everything. Israel has gone into Iran. They went after, what did they go into? Lebanon. They went after embassies. They do whatever they want. So far, Gaza, all this screaming and yelling, it's genocide. Nothing. Nothing. The deal may be, listen, you do what you want, Israel, and we'll just let us pretend like we're upset. Let us pretend that we're disgusted. Let us pretend that this means something. Because believe it or not, nothing matters. Angelica says, I am loyal to Trump. Greta was casting her eyes about for friends at the airport. Greta Thunberg makes more sense now than she's grown up. She was a little bit kind of caught up in that stuff. We care about peace, MAGA. Liz Solak, are we live? Bless her heart. Bless Liz. Yes, honey. We're live. Come on in. Sit down. Somebody give Liz a chair. Yes, we're live right now as we speak. Is Joe live? Everything is rinse and repeat with these people. Hi, Liz, we're live. What happened to the Uyghur people in China? Oh, yeah, no money in that. This is so incredible. What I'm telling you is simply this. We talk a lot of bullshit. MAGA, nobody cares what we say. The president doesn't care. The president says, look, you do me a favor. I'll do a lot for you domestically. I'm going to go after these Antifa people. I think we're seeing. But when it comes to Iran, we're not going to worry about it. I'm not going to worry about it. And don't you worry about it. This is one of those deals. We make a deal. Does it matter? We get a lot of money coming our way. There is no Palestinian convention. There's no PPAC, no Palestinian Political Action Committee. Nothing. Not to mention people don't care about this. You and a handful of people, yeah, you watch that Napolitano and you watch Mearsheimer and all these people. Well, that's the minority. They have no power. I've got the power. Tomorrow is going to be the president. We're going to have our big rally in D.C. And I've said this before. See, I'm a strange duck because I don't like to see all of this military might. That's not who we are. That's not who we are. That's not what this is about. Don't you understand it? It's not who we are. But people love it. Oh, I love our military. Really? Okay, that's terrific. I'm saying, I think mostly they don't care. This is Justin Fagan. Well, we'll worry when it affects gas prices. It never affects gas prices. They have been talking about the Houthis and the Straits of Hormuz since day one. It never affects anybody. Nobody cares about that. Nobody's interested in that. Nobody. We talk a big game about this, but nobody cares. Am I right? Of course I'm right. Of course I'm right. I'm absolutely right. I know exactly what I'm talking about. This is the thing which is the most important, more than anything else, and I'm telling you right now. There is something so critical about this. Trump will take care of business when he has to do it, or Trump will take care of business when he has to. He will do it without shedding blood. Angelica, thank you, dear heart, but where do you think this is going? See, I think the bottom line is simply this. Let me throw this one out to you. There's no justice in the world. This isn't going to happen because nobody gives a shit about these people. Nobody cares about these people. Nobody cares about these people. You don't understand. This is an academic exercise. They don't care because, not that people don't like the Palestinians, they just don't. It doesn't mean anything to them. And they don't know about Palestinians versus Hamas. Hamas is doing this. So far, with all of the work, with everything that is being done, with, as you would say, the blanket and absolute abject genocide that people are saying is going on in this world, nothing's happening. Nobody's saying anything. Nobody's saying anything. It doesn't matter in the least to these people. It doesn't matter in the least. Don't you see what's going on here? Nobody honestly is saying anything about it. Nobody is doing anything. Nobody cares. After all of this, the ICC, the ICJ, doesn't that blow your mind? Genocide, all these people. So what? So go ahead with your, have your stuff, put your genocide stuff out there, but we really don't care about it. We really don't care. We're not in the slightest bit concerned one way or the other about any of this stuff. You hear that? This is what I'm saying. Why? What's interesting to note is this, and it comes down to this. It's not you, it's not me, it's the rest of the world. There is no premium. We have no incentive to change the way we are. Nothing. We have no incentive. We have none. There's no repercussions to any of this. So whether you get upset about it or not, they might say, look, if there was a problem, if there was really a problem, if what we were doing, honest to God, was bad, I mean really bad, if it was really bad, if the world said, you can't do this, this is a modern day Holocaust, maybe we'd stop. But guess what? Nobody cares about this. You're worried about something that frankly just doesn't exist. Nobody cares about this. Nobody's paying attention about this because the subject matter, it just doesn't lend itself to any monumental concern or fear. There's a lot of stuff going on. AI, this, that. It doesn't matter. What difference does it make? Think about all our concerns. We worry about this and that. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody cares. I hate to be like this. I'm sorry, dear friends. But until, we'll talk about this, but we're going to be talking about this forever. When you look, and I look at the great work that Judge Napolitano was doing, he has this kind of like this farm team of people going around and around. John Mearsheimer's fantastic. This is Genocide. Jeffrey Sachs. Oh my God, this is incredible. Everybody's going crazy. Piers Morgan's jumping on board. Everybody is European this, European that. MBS, Saudi Arabia, Putin, nobody's doing anything. They got their own problems. That's what I'm wondering. The deal may be, and the work may be, and the issue may be, look, we're going to pretend, we're going to go along with this, and we're going to act as though somehow what's happening matters. Of course we're involved. Of course we're behind this. Of course Mossad and CIA and MI6. Yeah, of course we are. But we're just going to ignore this and see what happens. And if we continue to remain unscathed, we're going to keep doing this. It's that simple. It's the most important thing in the world. Dan Howell quoting, fantastic, great copy and paste there. Thank you so much. Liz says, if that was Trump interrupting Norm yesterday, the Democrats would be all over that. If that was Trump. Oh, Noam, yeah. Well, listen, we know this. This is the double standard. Look, we don't care about the Democrats. The Democrats don't care. Do you hear anything from the Democrats talking about Palestinian or this? No. Do you hear, they're not doing anything. Do you hear Maxine Waters, AOC? Nobody. Even Ilhan Omar, nobody cares. It's a big debate. There are people who are screaming, oh my God, you can march all you want from the river to the sea and kafia this and that. That's the bottom line. That's what I've been asking. And I think I proved my case. Nobody, it doesn't matter. They kill this one, they kill Salame, this one, that one, this one's killed. That. They have the martyrs. You know, they rattle their sabers. We're gonna get you for this. Okay, go ahead. Nothing happens. Nothing to worry about. So get ready for this. All I'm telling you, and I mean this sincerely, get ready for this. It's gonna be it's something may or may not happen, but it's not here in this, because tomorrow is Saturday. Today's Friday. Doesn't matter. By Monday, it's forgotten. And the best part is Fox loves it. Institute for the Study of War love it. They love it. The ingenious, the military precision. I can hear it right now. I know what's going to happen. Wasn't that great? They're genius. The intelligence. Look at this. Even though October the 7th. Come on. Look. The hardest part for you is to realize that what you think is right or wrong may not matter. It may not matter. Nothing is going to happen because of this. Nothing. It's not. I'm sorry. I wish it was different, but it's not. For some reason, this is one of those things like, well, that's that crazy stuff. It's like the Uyghurs in China. It's terrible. Falun Gong. Israel is this and then, yeah, okay. And Trump may say to you, I told you. We're making out like bandits. We get the money from, we don't want to be primary. If AIPAC comes out and says, if it's true, every member of Congress has somebody, a follower, somebody who watches them, kind of keeps an eye on them. If that's true, Lindsey Graham's going to be saying, you might think I'm this, you might think I'm Gomer Paul, you might think I'm gay, you might think I'm this, whatever. I don't care. All I know is nobody cares about this. I'm going to be reelected, and that's it. And tomorrow, America is going to be celebrating with the 250th anniversary of the Army, and you're going to see tanks and warfare and the usual subjects. I'm telling you. It's going to be like nothing ever happened. And we're going to be strident, and the left is going to be doing this, and Max Blumenthal and Erin Monte and Katie Halper and this and that, and all the... And the rest of the world in OAN and Middle East, there's an Al Jazeera, and the people are going to be crazy, and there's going to be protests. And have your protest. Americans couldn't tell you what this is about anybody. Oh, those crazy lefties or whatever. It's about wars. But I'm telling you. But here's the question. How do you think this will change? What will it take for people to think? What Marcus Ferguson says, keep the faith. Keep the faith? Be honest with you. Do you believe? Or rephrase it. Do you really? Yes or no? And don't answer me. Do you really, 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 really care about this? If tomorrow Trump were to initiate or approve a new batch of let's say, vaccines, you'd be upset about that. Oh, buddy, you would be crazy about that, right? And deservedly so. Does this really affect you? Deep down you're saying, well, I get upset a little bit, but no. It's not like something I can sink my teeth into, something like not AOC, maybe Nancy Pelosi something, but deep down inside, I don't really care about this. It's theoretical. It's sad. I wish it wasn't so, but and if the rest of the world, if nobody says anything, if we say, well, what are you going to do? Trump's going to say, I did it again. You just proved my case. Nobody cares about this. There was a joke years ago, and you can use it any way you want. Some despotic leader, whether it's Hitler or this one or that, he makes a speech. He says, I'm going to take out and I'm going to destroy the following. And then you pick the group you want. I'm going to completely wipe them off, them and 10 blonde women. I'm going to destroy this people and 10 blonde women. And somebody says, 10 blonde women? They go, see, nobody cares about blank. Pilgrim Media says, Solipsism of the rich, just not in my neighborhood. Maybe, I think so. But the problem, though, Pilgrim, and I thank you, is that unless there's some political repercussion, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. So what we'll do is we'll act mad today and argue and scream, but the bottom line is that politically, nobody will fail. Nobody will. Either way, you can have members of Congress have a sign outside their door that says, I support Israel, or I support Palestine, or it's one of these things that we kind of pretend. It was like the rainforest years ago. People swore they cared about it, but not really. It doesn't lend itself to the biggest deal. Now, my friend, July the 19th, next month, at the Cutting Room, July the 19th, yours truly will be at the Cutting Room. It will be something, a lot to talk about. Tickets are available. Please go to the description section. Sign up for the newsletter. I've got more newsletters coming on, more videos, more everything. Do it. Join us. Join the fun. Join the frolic. Join who we are, ladies and germs. And remember, if there's no political fallout, it doesn't matter. I want to thank you, my friends. Thank you for being always loyal to the truth, always loyal to the cause. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you. Pilgrim, thank you for your generosity, my friend. And M.R.O. Levon, thank you. We'll see you later on today. Maybe 7, the usual time. But stay tuned here to Lionel Nation because they got more videos coming out. And people are going to be so pissed off because I love to tell people the truth. And I'm right. Nobody cares. It does not matter. When you say, yeah, I care about it. I care about AI, but nobody's going to do it. I'm not saying you don't care. I'm saying the rest of the world don't care. All right, dear friends, have a great, a glorious, and a beauteous day. Thank you so much for everything you've done, for everything you've been a part of. We will talk very, 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 very soon. And until then, my dear and loyal members of the Conspiratorium, I say the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Dad.